Very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, it is about gaming law. I'm sure many of you know gaming is a big industry. Online gaming industry is a big industry, not only in our country, in many countries. And there are certain negative aspects that go with gaming industry, perhaps based on that a particular law. What does the law say? Online contest may be excluded from ban. And based on this gaming industry, it seems there is a ban, and certain contests are going to be removed. That means they don't come under the ban. Online contests may be excluded, means they will not be considered from ban. Certain areas will be considered, certain areas will not be considered, and this one comes under areas which are not going to be considered when it comes to the ban or prohibition. Very important. Coming to, already they have given bank exams a few times, gaming industry related passages. And whenever you see an article that is important that goes with sleeps, do remember you have to read the article. And once you read the article, you develop the contextual awareness, related lexical terms, word combinations, word usage, and also effective English. In the long run, when you come across a passage that deals with gaming industry, it will be easy for you to answer many questions effortlessly. Coming to the next one, feedback sought. You all know the word feedback. Feedback could be positive, could be negative. Yes, Vishnu. And sought, seek, sought. And you're all looking for a job. What is the word for you people? Job seekers. Already someone has come up with that. Feedback sought. Airfare may be refunded in medical emergencies. Goes with airfare. When you see this word fare, you have to recollect FAIR, fare, and also FARE. How much is the fare from here to Delhi? That talks about the price or cost. Coming to FAIR, fare, it has two or three meanings. One meaning, it goes with complexion. Fair complexion, dark complexion, but many Indians are brownish or wheatish. And the second meaning, fair treatment, just treatment. And villages, once a week, all the guys over there gather and they sell the local products. That is known as a village fair. All the three words you have to recollect, very important. And I'm sure many of our students know. Coming to the next one, you all know the turmoil. Turmoil means what? Disturbance in the state of Manipur. It was there for quite some time, but now things have subsided. But it looks like again a problem has erupted. What does it say? Clash again. 4 Kuki militants killed in Manipur. This goes with the disturbance in the state of Manipur. And two tribal people, they have been fighting with each other. Here, one particular tribal group, members of that group, Kuki tribal militants, Kuki militants. There is one word here, militants. When there is an uprising, sort of dissent or opposition, and people resort to using weapons, then we use the word militants. And militia also, you have to recollect important words. Turmoil, turbulence, yes, who is that? Divya, very good. Coming to the next one, today's editorial page, emerging crisis. This is what I'm going to do. And I have brought the regular pattern. And you'll be surprised and shocked to know, for the first time, in one short editorial, there are about 34 words, 30 plus words, the maximum in my opinion. Usually, I tell students whenever we cross 15 new words, I tell students it's an important editorial and vocab point of view, very important. But today's editorial, it has 34 words, and all the words go with effective English or effective vocabulary. Very important. We'll see what those words are. And this goes with the same editorial. Emerging crisis. Already someone has responded. I appreciate. Crisis singular, who is this? Pravalika, very good. Crisis singular, crisis plural. The moment you see that, you have to recollect that. Coming to the news, scam hubs in Southeast Asia. You all know the word scam, something illegal, and hub. an area of activity. We use the word IT hub, some other hub. Hub is an important word, quite popular. I'm sure many of you know. And this article is really very strange, surprising, and a sort of eye opener. When you read today's editorial, it is something like shocking and also an eye opener. Why, you will understand after 5 minutes. Scam hubs in Southeast Asia. India should forge a coordinated regional response. There's another important word. Generally, when we come across forgery, that has a negative connotation. Forgery means goes with you sign on behalf of someone, but not with his consent, then forgery. But forge can be a positive word. Forge also means to result in. Forge, a coordinated regional response. Here it is a positive connotation. That way it is an important word. The problem with English, in English we have certain words. They have positive connotations, at the same time negative connotations, and you have to be careful with those words. The last one is about row ends. Our students know this word. We have got so many times, different meanings. One meaning here, row means a dispute. Another meaning, front row, back row. Third meaning, when you want to move a boat, you use oars and you row the boat as a verb. And I'm sure all our students know. And what is this row? Dispute ends. Merely mystery parts ways with Tata trusts. There's an important idiomatic expression. Have you heard of this any time? Part ways, they have parted ways. Part ways means end relationship. You have a relationship with someone, you end that relationship, then you can use the expression part ways. They have parted ways, means they have stopped, ended their relationship. An important idiom they have given a few times. Let us go to the main headline from today's Hindi paper. Let's see what it says. I have done a few editorials based on SAR and Bihar. They launched for the first time in Bihar. It became highly controversial. A few editorials, so many articles about SAR, and extension of that across the country. It talks about Election Commission kicks off, an important phrasal verb, but you can easily make out. Kick off means what? To start, to launch, to initiate. Kicks off SAR 2.0 in 9 states and 3 union territories. I think we got a news item regarding this yesterday, a snippet. I qualified SBI clerk prelims just because of your English. Thank you so much, sir. Who is this? Kumar. Very good. Congratulations. And many of you must have cleared SBI clerk prelims. I would like to congratulations all of you, and all the best for your mains exam. Prepare well, use the available time effectively, and try to come up with flying colors. All the best. Thank you. Coming to the next other snippets over here. Supreme Court examining the ban on surrogacy for second child. An important news item, you have to read the article. You may ask me, how many of you know the meaning of the word surrogacy? Today, surrogacy, it started with a good intention, but it has taken a negative thing, a negative dimension, manifestation. It has become highly controversial. A lot of people are trying to exploit the innocence and ignorance of the rural people, especially women, and luring them, showing them money. They are trying to resort to certain illegal activities related to surrogacy. And let me tell you, IBPS PO, I think 2022, descriptive English, they gave an essay. They gave a question. Write about surrogacy and write about the legal implications of surrogacy. An important article, almost 2 or 3 years over, they may touch again because it is in the limelight. Try to read the article, very important. Surrogacy, surrogate mother. For second child, it seems they are going to ban. It is examining the ban on surrogacy for second child. Dick Cheney, former vice president of the US, no more. When we say someone is no more, what does it mean? He passed away. And he died sounds very harsh. He passed away sounds better. And what is the word for that? Euphemism. Euphemism means what? Something that is, feel something sounds very harsh. You try to put it in a nice way. Then we use the word euphemism, an important word. SE flags POXO's misuse in cases on adolescents. I've done what editorial based on this POXO's misuse. When you see the word misuse, you have to think of words like abuse. What is the meaning of abuse? Misuse, abuse of power. And they're trying to target the adolescents, on adolescents. When you see the word adolescents, you have to think of teenage. 13 to 19, what do you say? Teenage. And that is the age they're not quite sure about the future. A lot of confusion because of hormonal imbalance and adolescent stage. And some people during that stage, they commit crime. Then we use the expression juvenile delinquency. Have you heard of this any time? They've given us a passage a few times. Juvenile. Juvenile means young. Delinquency means crime. It's a major problem in Western countries. Fortunately, in our country, in this part of the world, we don't have that problem. Juvenile delinquency. Remember, you may get as a passage. Coming to pause the issue of permits for animal import. When it comes to animal importing animals, exporting animals, definitely today it is in the limelight. What is the reason? Because of endangerment. Animals are getting endangered because of they are under threat. Now they are trying to make the rules and regulations very strict when it comes to either exporting animals or importing animals. That is a good thing to protect the animals. That comes under conservation, preservation. Coming to the main, one more headline: 8 killed as passenger goods trains collide near Bilaspur in Chhattisgarh. Here we have collision. I'm sure all of you know. You have to recollect words like wildlife, loss of habitat, flora, fauna, poaching, and contraband, and also confiscate. All the words you have to. Red Data book, very good. Who is this? Shreya. Very good. I appreciate that. I think for the last 3 days, some news item, something or other coming up, not something positive, something negative. Bus collision, train collision, loss of innocent lives, very unfortunate. And 8 people, it seems, got killed. You can see the pic, you can make out. Leaders hold many rallies in Bihar as campaigning ends for first phase of polls. You all know Bihar elections, November 6th and November 11th. They are busy campaigning. And whenever you come across an article related to elections, you have to think of words like candidates, contest, constituency, campaign, canvas, and negative aspects like booth capturing, rigging. All these you have to know. And once the elections are over, at the time of declaration of the result, you have to think of words like, expressions like landslide victory and also thumping majority. All these you have to know. That's all from the front page. Let us go to today's editorial. As I said, today's editorial is something like incredible for two reasons. One reason, it has about 34 words. A lot of words. Every sentence you come across new words which go with competitive exams. Second thing, when you read the article, I'm sure those who read this editorial, they get surprised and shocked. Why? You will come to know soon. Let us have a look at the words. Usually what I do, I bring the words and the profiles. What is the word profile? Word, part of speech, meaning, example, word forms, word usage, word combinations, synonyms, antonyms. But we have 34 words. If I have to bring the word profiles for every word today, it may take minimum 3 hours. That is not practically possible. I'll show the meaning, the part of speech, and the meaning. But all these words are very important. Let us see the first one. Scam. Scam, which part of speech? Noun. A dishonest scheme of fraud to cheat people. Something illegal, we use the word scam. Second one, compound. Compound, noun. It can also be a verb. To get aggregated, piled up. A group of buildings enclosed within a boundary, often used for a specific purpose. We also say compound wall, but as a verb, a different meaning. Her problems got compounded. Means what? Multiplied. Coming to the next one, many of our students know, have given many a time, comprehensive. Comprehensive means what? Touching all the dimensions. And what are the words you have to recollect? One is holistic, the other one exhaustive, complete and covering all important details. Proliferate, another important word, to multiply, increase or spread rapidly. When something spreads rapidly within no time, we use the word proliferation. And here you have to recollect one important idiom. What is that idiom? Mushroom growth. Imagine all of a sudden, a particular city, you see a lot of engineering colleges. Then what do you say? Mushroom growth of engineering colleges. Menace, we have got many a time, a person or thing that causes danger or trouble. And if you take bank exams, mains, a descriptive English paper, many a time, letter writing, they have given topics like menace of stray dogs, menace of rash driving, and an important word you have to remember. Fraudster, fraud, something that is not legal, and a person who commits fraud or cheating. When someone commits fraud or someone cheats, we call that person con man. Have you heard of this any time? Con man. Con man means a cheat. Have you heard of this? Con man. An important word you have to remember. Coming to the next list of words. Impersonate, another important word, to pretend to be someone else. You are not an inspector, but you pose yourself as an inspector. That means you're trying to impersonate. Never heard of that. That's an important word. Someone says no, someone says yes. But do remember, con man. Extort, another important word. This goes with mafias, underworld gangs. They try to coerce or use force, and they try to get money from the celebrities or the rich people, industrialists. Then we use the word extortion of money. To obtain something, especially money, by threat or force, extortion of money. Sprawl, another important word. Something sprawls means spreads out, to spread out. To spread out in an untidy or uncontrolled way. Need not be untidy. What is the meaning of tidy? Tidy means neat, clean, and opposite, mess. Someone's room is not clean and not properly arranged, then we say his room is in a big mess. And there are two idioms you have to recollect, opposite. One is a spick and span. The other one, apple pie order. Spick and span, apple pie order. And this word need not be a negative one. It could be a sprawling bungalow, means spread out bungalow. It could be neutral also. Brazen, we have got many a time, bold and shameless, without embarrassment. Some people do certain things which are not legal, which are not acceptable. And while doing that, they don't have the feeling of guilt and they do it shamelessly, openly. Then we use the expression brazen act of something. Regime, we have got many a time, part of speech, noun. A system of government, especially an authoritarian one, need not be. The current regime, what does it mean? The current government need not be authoritative, but it is like usually. That you have to keep in mind. Next one, complicity. The state of being involved in wrongdoing or crime with others. There's a new word we have got. Complicity means what? You join hands with someone in some illegal activity. Then we use this word, the state of being involved in wrongdoing or crime with others. And here you have to recollect one word, accomplice. Have you heard of this word? Accomplice means partner in crime. That's an important word. Partner in crime. Then we use the word accomplice. From that, complicity. Chilling, something that is scary, frightening. You get frightened, you get scared. Then you use the word chilling. Generally, chilling goes with winter season, chilly morning, a different meaning. And chilled drink, a different meaning. Here it means scary. Lure, to attract or tempt someone in doing something. Usually the word allure has a negative connotation. Allure children with chocolates with some bad intention. It has a negative connotation. And trafficking. I have talked about this many a time and have given as a passage human trafficking. What is human trafficking? Some people, they go to villages or tribal areas, they take kids, boys and girls, and boys are sold to industries where child labor is involved. Industries like firecrackers, matchbox, carpet, bangle, all glass industry. They employ children and they are sold over there. And girls are taken to red light areas in big cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and they're indulged in prostitution. And that is known as human trafficking. Human trafficking, a major problem. The illegal trade or movement of people or goods. Usually it goes with people. Janta, a military group that takes control of a government after a coup. Here the letter P is silent. How do you pronounce this? Coup. And when a military group of army people, they try to revolt and take power, they topple the existing government, then we use the word coup. And sometimes when some people try, they fail miserably, then we use words like fiasco. Fiasco means what? Utter failure. Coerce, we have got many a time. Use force. Coerce someone means force someone to do something. See how many words we have got, and many words are important. Perpetrate, another important word. Usually we use the word form perpetrators. Perpetrators mean criminals, those who commit crime. To commit or carry out a harmful, illegal, or immoral act. Pig butchering. This is an important expression. Butcher. Butcher, you all know the word. One who kills animals, usually cows or pigs or. And pig butchering. What does it mean? We have come across this for the first time. A scam combining fake romance and investment fraud to deceive victims. Have you heard of this any time? This editorial talks about pig butchering. Have you heard of this? It's a big thing we have come across for the first time. You may get as a passage. What they try to do, they try to attract some people, victims. They try to romance with them. They pamper them. And after some time, what they try to do, they try to cheat that particular person. And pig butchering, usually what it means, fattening, you have to know the word fattening. They feed a pig a lot and the pig becomes very fat. Then they butcher the pig. It also has that connotation. A scam combining fake romance and investment fraud to deceive victims. Flourish, we have got many a time. Flourishing business, thriving business, what does it mean? To do business well. Coup, a sudden, often violent seizure of power from a government. Seize, to get into hand using force. And embolden, remember the word bold, embolden, make someone courageous. To give someone courage or confidence to act boldly. Ethnic, relating to a particular race, tribe, or cultural group. You all know the word ethnic, ethnic tribe, ethnic fashion, ethnic culture. Yes, flourish, Naidu, very good. Flourishing, thriving. Militia, an armed group of civilians trained to act as soldiers. Civilians with weapons trained to act as soldiers, we use the word militia. It has a positive connotation, it has a negative connotation, and lucrative. This goes with business. He is doing lucrative business. What does it mean? Profitable business. The key word you have to remember, profitable. Launder. I'm sure all of you know ethnology. Ah, very good. Who is this? Your name sounds entirely different. Sue Gu. Am I right? If I'm not correct, excuse me. It is not easy to pronounce that particular name. I don't know from where you are, but your name sounds entirely different, not the regular one. And money laundering, I'm sure many of you know. To conceal the origin of illegally obtained money by passing it through legal channels. Mule, another important word. A person who carries or transfers illegal money or goods for others. Not the actual person. Sai Ganesh, oh, I see. How come it looks entirely different? You should have Sai Ganesh, a familiar name. Anyhow, thanks for responding. Coming to this mule, an important word. In this context, what does it mean? A person who does some illegal business on behalf of someone else. But generally, the literal meaning of the word mule, if you take a race horse, usually horses are big, huge, and you have to look at a race horse like this. But you come across horses smaller in size. They are known as mules. They are a crossbreed between a horse and a donkey. That is known as a mule. They are used for horse carts. Syndicate, a group of people or organizations working together for a common, often criminal purpose. Syndicate has a negative connotation. Yes, Naidu, nexus, convive. Nexus means connection, and syndicate, a group of people, usually a negative connotation. Kingpins, the most important or powerful people in an organization or activity, especially crime. Crime, we use the expression kingpins, but if you take the corporate world, the top management, we use the word top brass. Have you heard of this any time? The top brass of the company means the top management people of the company. And when it comes to crime, we say kingpins. Captive, you have to recollect the expression captive breeding. You catch someone, usually an animal, and keep it in a zoo, and there it gets, you indulge in something like a breeding, then it is known as captive breeding. A person who is imprisoned or confined. You have to remember the word. More than imprisoned, top brass, important expression you have to remember. Confined to a particular area, restrict to a particular area, we use the word captive. Brutal, extremely cruel or violent. Many people were killed brutally, means what? In a cruel manner. You should also recollect words like barbaric, uncivilized, cruel, and you have to think of words like atrocities. Leverage, we have got many a time, to use something to gain an advantage or achieve a desired result. But it has three different meanings. Excuse me. It has three different meanings. Leverage, one meaning, to use something to the greatest maximum extent. Another meaning, to influence someone or something, leverage. And the third meaning, to borrow money. It goes with a company. Dismantle, to take apart or destroy a system or structure. Manifestation, a clear sign or display of something, especially an idea or quality. Manifestation, development. See, so many words, 34 words. Now let us go to today's editorial. Not easy to comprehend with so many words. Not easy to comprehend. Otherwise, also not easy to comprehend. Let us see how it starts. Compound effect. Not easy to make out. Compound has many meanings. One meaning, it can be a noun, it can be a verb. Noun meaning is different, verb meaning is different. And the moment you see effect, impact, you have to think of words like effect and effect. Effect is a verb, effect can be a verb, can be a noun. On digital arrest scams. What is this all about? Digital arrest scams. Scam, something illegal, dishonest. What is the main idea of the editorial? Southeast Asian scam factories. See, a new expression, scam factories. Usually we don't use the word factory for someone who gets into a scam. But a lot of people do in a professional, organized manner. Based on that, scam factories. Southeast Asian scam factories demand a coordinated response. Here, demand, you should think of the phrasal verb call for. They call for means what? They demand a coordinated response. Not one country, many countries should join hands to deal with this particular problem. What is the background information? Why the writer had to write this? Why the newspaper had to write about this thing? When you read, you understand. The Supreme Court, this is the stimulus or the trigger to write this article or editorial. The Supreme Court's call for a comprehensive inquiry. Call for what? For a comprehensive inquiry. Sometimes students ask me, so what is the difference between inquiry? At one level, both mean the same. Inquiry is British, inquiry is American. But in this context, inquiry means investigation, comprehensive inquiry into the proliferating menace, multiplying rapidly, menace, a threat. Proliferating menace of digital scams reflects the alarming scale at which Indian citizens are being defrauded. Digital scams, they have been in the limelight. A lot of Indians have been defrauded, they have got affected, they have lost lakhs of rupees. It talks about that. The bench's particular focus on digital arrest scams. It talks about digital scams, one thing, and specifically digital arrest scams. These have been there for some time. And many people got scared and also they lost lakhs of rupees. The bench's particular focus on digital arrest scams where fraudsters impersonate law enforcement officials. They make a call and say, the fraudster makes a call and says, I'm from ED, Enforcement Directorate, I'm so and so official. And it tries to threaten the person. Obviously, when you get a call and someone says, I'm representing so and so department, government department, that too, police department, enforcement department, a typical reaction, a common man gets scared because the common man or a person with very good reputation will get scared because he has his own image, stature, reputation in the society. And the moment someone says there's a possibility of you getting, possibility of arresting you, obviously they get totally disturbed and they panic. Where fraudsters impersonate law enforcement officials to extort money. Using force, they take money. Underscores. What is the meaning of underscore? Highlight. Yesterday, we came across this example. Yes. Underscores the sophistication and brazenness of these operations. Underscore means what? Highlights. Highlights what? Sophistication. They are doing in a professional manner. Perturbed, disturbed, yes. And sophisticated. Some people look very stylish. We use words like sophisticated and also refined, polished, urbane. Urbane is an important word they have given many a time. And brazenness, openly, shamelessly, of these operations. What distinguishes? Distinguish means to stand out. When you achieve success, when you do something on a large scale, society recognizes, we use the word a distinguished person. A typical example, distinguished scientist. What distinguishes the current wave of digital fraud from conventional cyber crime is its industrial scale. This is where the problem is. Usually, crime is done at the personal level. One person tries to cheat another person, and digital online or digital fraud also conventional style is one person, another person. But now it has become industrial scale. That's why the writer uses the word scam factories, industrial scale, and cross border architecture. There are two problems here. The magnitude. What is the meaning of magnitude? The range. The magnitude is cross border, and also it has gone to the extent of like a factory or an industry. That means very difficult to deal with. A sprawling network. Here, sprawling means spread out, widespread. A sprawling network of scam compounds means the companies, the premises, all those, operates from conflict-torn regions. Another important expression. If you go to some countries, they always experience the political turmoil. Some conflict or other persists, and they have chosen those regions to take up these illegal activities. Conflict-torn regions and special economic zones across Southeast Asia, particularly in Myanmar, where state control is minimal and where disturbingly regime complicity appears evident. Means what? The Janta is involved in that. Whoever is in power, incumbent government, in a way involved. There's a nexus between them. All these countries, especially, particularly in Myanmar, where state control is minimal and where disturbingly regime complicity appears evident. You can also use the word obvious, appears obvious. The mechanics of this modern day slavery racket, and this also surprised me. The writer uses the word slavery. When I read for the first time, I was taken aback. I was surprised. How come the word slavery? But when I read the editorial, I understood why the word has been used. The mechanics of this modern day slavery racket are chilling, means scary. It has become a racket. Here, racket means what? A network, like an organization. Victims are lured through fraudulent job advertisements. See what is going on. Here, victims are lured, attracted through fraudulent job advertisements, means fake job ads promising attractive salaries and perks, means incentives, often via Bangkok. Via what? Which country? Via Bangkok, Thailand, in exploitation of visa free regimes. And without any visa free regimes, they try to lure the victims. From there, they are trafficked across borders. Once they go to that place, illegally they are sent to some other place. They are trafficked across borders, primarily into Myanmar's regions, controlled by border guard forces allied with the military junta. Means they have given a name also to that particular group, border guard forces allied with. Ally means what? In a way, they have an understanding with the military junta. These compounds function as digital sweatshops. These compounds means those factories, those buildings, those areas function as sweatshops where trafficked individuals are coerced to violence, torture, and sexual harassment to perpetrate elaborate scams, including pig butchering, a sophisticated combination of romance and cryptocurrency investment fraud. This is really surprising. First, they attract the victims, promising jobs and visa free countries, destinations. And once they reach that particular destination, they are trafficked to some other country or some other place, usually Myanmar region. And over there, when you take these compounds, the factories, fraudulent activities are taken place, it seems they are tortured. These trafficked individuals are coerced, forced through violence, torture, and sexual harassment to perpetrate. Here, perpetrate means to commit crime, perpetrate elaborate scams, including pig butchering, a sophisticated combination. Here, the writer says pig butchering means what? A sophisticated combination of romance and investment in cryptocurrency. Romance and cryptocurrency investment fraud. This is a fraud. Myanmar's civil war has created ideal conditions for these operations to flourish. How come they are able to do that? The conditions over there, they became something like ideal conditions for these operations to flourish. The junta's 2021 coup and subsequent conflict emboldened the ethnic militias. See, I have used that word. Something went wrong. Honey trap also you have to recollect. Yes, very good. The junta's 2021 coup and the subsequent conflict emboldened, made them bold, gave them the courage. The ethnic militias, rebranded as border guard forces, who found lucrative revenue streams, attractive revenue streams, where in hosting scam centers. Based on that, the writer has used scam factories that could be taxed to fund military operations. That could be taxed for what purpose? To fund military operations. There's an understanding, there's a nexus, so they are able to continue. Proceeds are laundered through mules and dubious financial institutions such as Cambodia's yuan pay before being converted into cryptocurrency, making tracing and recovery nearly impossible. This talks about modus operandi. What is the meaning of modus operandi? The way a person commits crime, the method of committing crime. It talks about that. Proceeds are laundered through mules. Those not actual people, they represent someone else, and dubious financial institutions. We have got the word dubious many a time. What does it mean? Doubtful. And there's one important expression you have to recollect: dubious distinction. Very good. Anusha. That's right. Such as Cambodia's yuan pay before being converted into cryptocurrency. Once converted into cryptocurrency, making tracing and recovery nearly impossible. Then it is not possible to trace or recover. Global monitors have identified who are the actual people behind all these illegal activities. This sentence talks about that. Global monitors have identified Chinese organized crime syndicates. It seems Chinese organized crime syndicates behind all this. Chinese organized crime syndicates as the kingpins, main people orchestrating these are transnational networks. They are the main people conducting or executing all these things. Chinese syndicates. India faces a dual crisis, double trouble. What is that? Thousands of its citizens are trafficked into forced scam labor under brutal conditions. It seems Indian citizens are being forced to do something like this. Thousands of its citizens are trafficked into forced scam labor under brutal conditions. While thousands more, there's a first problem, there's a second problem. While thousands more at home fall victim to the very frauds these captives are forced to perpetrate. Captives, they're confined and they're forced. And who fall prey? Indians, unfortunately. Perpetrate means commit crime. This demands a multi-pronged response. Multi-pronged approach means multi-dimensional. The Reserve Bank of India, along with union and state governments, must launch extensive public awareness campaigns. Now the writer talks about the solutions. Public awareness campaigns about these scams while strengthening cybercrime infrastructure and policing capabilities. India must leverage, use to the maximum extent, diplomatic channels to forge a coordinated regional response, to take forward a coordinated regional response. Working with China, Thailand, Vietnam, and other affected nations, India should exert maximum pressure on the Myanmar junta and Cambodia's regime to dismantle these operations. They have to put pressure on these two to dismantle the whole thing. The United Nations must also be mobilized to recognize this for what it truly is: a modern manifestation of slavery that demands urgent international intervention. See, again, the word slavery has been used because they're kept as captives. That means, in a way, like slaves. So, this modern day slavery has to be immediately, we have to do something about that. And UN role is also, the situation calls for United Nations role, and that demands urgent international intervention. A very important article, a very important editorial, not easy to comprehend because of the entire thing talks about something new, and also because of the vocabulary. You got to be very good at English to understand this one. Let us go to questions based on comprehension skill. Try to answer the first one. The Supreme Court's recent intervention in digital scams primarily signifies what? Intervention, interfere, yes. A wake-up call, that's also true. Try to answer the first question based on comprehension skill. Bolt from the blue, that's right, Sai Ganesh. B. The judiciary's recognition of a systemic, entire system, and organized a fraud network. B is the answer. What does the author imply by describing the scam factories as digital sweatshops? The writer says these scam factories are nothing but digital sweatshops. What does it mean? They function as call centers. They employ advanced technologies for efficient scamming. They exploit trafficked individuals under coercion to commit frauds. Answer should be C. Have you chosen C? Yes, Divya, you have to recollect two words. One is systemic, dealing with the entire system. Systematic means in a proper way. C is the answer. Very good. Coming to the next one, which of the following best captures a central idea of the passage? It is not about Myanmar's political instability. Digital scams are a manifestation of global cyber dependence. Industrial scale digital fraud and human trafficking require coordinated global response. This is what answer should be again. The third one also answer is C. Industrial scale digital fraud, not individual level. Industrial scale, not easy to deal with. Yes, C is the answer. Coordinated efforts are required. The author's tone throughout the passage can be described as you cannot use words like sarcastic, descriptive, neutral, optimistic, completely ruled out. Always look for the word analytical. Writers try to analyze the situation, the problem. They try to provide a solution or something important, urgent. And one has to be careful, caution. A is the answer. Which of the following inferences can be correctly drawn from the passage? Inference based question. Myanmar's junta directly manages all scam factories. Cryptocurrency is the only medium used for laundering money. Weak state control and regime complicity allow scam networks to thrive. The writer says weak state control and regime complicity together they allow scam factories, scam networks to flourish or thrive. Yes, C is the answer. Now we have two questions based on error location, two based on fillers, one based on phrase meaning. Try to answer the first one. Try to spot the error. Kerala, known for its exemplary record in social and human development and for healthcare systems comparable with those of developed nations, achieved another milestone. Not easy. To answer this question, you have to know the difference between compare to, compare with. If you know that, you can spot the error. Otherwise, impossible. No. Here, comparable with is not correct. We have to use comparable to. You may ask me, sir, what is wrong with comparable with? We use, when we talk about similarities, we have to use similar things. We have to use compared to. When we are comparing dissimilar things, different things, a positive and negative, then we have to use comparable with. Here we are comparing similar things. So there is a similarity. The writer is talking about similarity, then we have to use comparable to. Very important, only a few can answer under pressure. Another question based on error location. Combating poverty is a never ending task, and criticism of the claim of erasing extreme poverty, particularly regarding the plight of the tribal population, are inescapable. Okay, sir. No one has got it right. Not an easy one. Vishnu says comparable to. Sangeet also says. Pavani also says. That's good. Try to answer the next one. Who is this? Good morning, sir. I'm about to finish off at the fag end of the session. No problem. There's a saying, better late than never. Here we are talking about criticism of the claim, a phrase of erasing extreme poverty, particularly regarding the plight of tribal population. All these are phrases. What is the subject here? Criticism. Then we cannot say are. Criticism is inescapable. The subject is what? Criticism. And you cannot say criticism are. Criticism is inescapable. Very good. Some of you have got it right. That's highly appreciable. Try to find the appropriate word, filler. Kerala's success was a result of a 4-year planned program involving a gamut of agencies, a range of agencies. And many of our students, they can choose the appropriate word because I use that word quite often. What is the appropriate word to be used in this context? Planned how was a result of a 4-year planned program. You cannot say hurried. We need a positive word, vaguely, arbitrarily, randomly, meticulously planned. I always tell students when you read questions, when you read the passage, try to read meticulously. Means looking at the minutest details. Very good. Arbitrary means based on whims and fancies. The program was spearheaded, directed by the local self-government department alongside extensive participation. You have to think whose participation. Context is entirely positive. Elite means the upper class of a society, the gentry, not relevant. Institutional, hierarchical, bureaucratic. All these are like any program becomes successful when the community participates. Based on that, what is the answer? Community participation. Yesterday's editorial also says the same thing. Community participation. Combating poverty is a never-ending task. Here the tone is best described as when the writer says combating poverty is a never-ending task. What is the tone of that expression? Pessimistic, cautionary, indifferent, critical. This is a challenging question. Let us see if you guys are going to get it right. Never-ending task. What is the tone? Question number 5. Oh, I see all. B, A, D. Answer is B. Cautionary. Not critical. Not at all critical. It is like a word of caution. You cannot relax. You cannot take it for granted. You cannot feel, okay, I've done the job. It's a never-ending task. Means what? Cautionary. Answer is B. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Let us go to, yes, I think some students have chosen B. That is the right option. Have a nice day. I will see you guys tomorrow with another editorial. Thank you very much.